Solid week. Whoa. What's that? Yeah.
Excuse me, out the back. Excuse me, sir. Come
There you go.
All right, thanks everyone. Australian captain Pat Cummins here to take some questions after the draw on day 5 today. So, anyone wants to start something?
Pat, is that going to be one of the most frustrating test matches you've played?
Yeah, it's right up there. I can't remember even coming close to the amount of times we were on and off throughout the 5 days. Yeah, especially here in Brisbane, you feel like it normally just pelts down for a couple of hours, then you're back on and it's clear. But yeah, frustrating. Felt like we were ahead of the game for pretty much all of it, but not to be.
Can I just follow that up with the most recent thing was seeing Trav, obviously, is there a groin problem or some kind of problem you've had? That's the second injury potentially out of this match. Not great signs for the team heading into Melbourne next week.
Yeah, obviously Joshy won't be part of the series, which is a real shame. Trav, he'll be fine. It's a bit of a tight quad. Yeah, he'll be fine for Melbourne.
Sure.
Pat, what was the game plan coming in today? Were you always trying to set up something? I mean, it's kind of ignoring this weather that was clearly coming in.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict the weather, as we found out this week. But yeah, always trying to look to set up a game. Day 5 wicket felt like there was plenty of wickets there on offer. So just trying to get a bit of a total and then, yeah, try and kind of line up, have enough overs to take those 10 wickets. But yeah, the number in your head always kind of keeps changing as the weather does.
Was there any thought of opening with Travis and Alice Carey?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, we kind of thought of a few different ideas, and then yeah, we landed on just letting the openers do their thing.
Just that innings and the way that it played out, like, is that one that you think the top order can kind of just put out of their minds because it was a unique situation and sort of different to, I guess, the first innings, or is the fact that Justin's obviously taking a lot of wickets at low cost something that does hang around?
I think that one you can dismiss. Really proud of everyone going out there and trying to win the Test match. We're big on buying into a game plan and a style, and yeah, they all went out there with good intent. Day 5 wicket as well, it's really tricky. So they're right up against it. But yeah, today I wouldn't look in too much. It was more about trying to get ourselves to a number rather than trying to preserve wickets.
And just in terms of the Josh situation, I mean, clearly they're sort of 2 separate injuries, but it's got to be very frustrating for him and I guess difficult for you as a team collective when you obviously rate him very highly as a bowler, but you needed a bit.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's kind of been the story of outside of last summer, the last few summers. I think the extra layer to that is probably one of the most disciplined professional, sports people you'd ever meet. The way he trains and prepares and goes about, when he's at home, he's in the gym every second day, or every day doing whatever it needs to take to try and minimise injuries. So I think that's an extra kind of blow, knowing how much he's put into his body over the last few years to try and play as many Test matches as he can. It's one of those ones, you can't really predict, but we value him. Unfortunately, he'll miss this series. Don't know when exactly he'll be right to go again, but again, even in the little snippets you've seen this series, how much we rate him, how much of an impact he can have.
Yeah.
Pat, Ravichandran Ashwin has just announced his retirement in the middle of the series. What do you make of this decision from him, and how do you assess Ashwin's contribution to Indian cricket generally? And
yeah, a bit of a surprise. He's obviously been a fantastic player, all around the world, really. Yeah, there aren't too many finger spinners that have that kind of longevity. So, he'll go down as one of the all-time greats. Always a fantastic competitor. I had a lot of battles, against him over the years, here in Australia as well, over in India. So, yeah, just a massive respect from our change room to the career that he's had.
Pat, the way this matches went ahead, and we saw Australia leading in almost every day. Last day, yes, there was a partnership. the body language 24 hours ago, Indians were a little ahead. It's looking like, and you guys were looking at if just weather went our way that we can win this test match. How does the mentality means? What are you carrying from here to Melbourne? Because everyone is saying that momentum wise, it's India now. Do you think that Australia missed the chance to carry the momentum from Brisbane to Melbourne?
Yeah, can't say I've ever been scared of momentum. Don't really care about that. I think we can take a lot from this week. A couple of great partnerships. To be sent in on a wicket and score 450, and then being bowler down and managing to bowl India out for 250. When the conditions were probably a little bit better. I think we can take a lot from that. So it's been a good week. As I said, unfortunately we missed so much time for rain. But a lot of positives.
Pat, just how you and Mitch are, I guess, after bowling the bulk of the overs and adding to Josh Babel, and how important is Mitchell Marsh's contribution going to be in Melbourne, given the goal of 2 overs here? Yeah,
we're feeling really good. It was hot yesterday, but we'd had about 7 days or so off bowling after Adelaide, so we were fresh, we were ready to go. And if anything, the rain breaks actually helped us get a little bit of breaks yesterday. So kind of went in thinking we'd need a lot more from Mitchie Marsh, but felt like we got enough breaks, so he was kind of not needed as much. And also a bit of an eye to the second innings that we had a fresh, brand new ball would have lent on Mitchie a lot to try and take those 10 wickets in the second innings. So no, we're feeling really good. Like every test match, you pick your 4 bowlers you think you're going to mainly use, and it's always a bonus having some all-rounders. So I suspect we'll call on Mitchie at some stage in the next couple of test matches to kind of get us a breakthrough or two when we need it.
And just to follow that up, as far as you're concerned, you expect that you and Mitch Stark will both be able to play the last 2 tests unchanged? Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's for certain, but see how we pull up. But I think today we're both fine, so I can't imagine that changing. So yeah, we're good to go. It was hot yesterday, but in terms of physically outside of that, we're all good.
Pat, just on numbers alone, the form of the top 3 has been a little bit of a talking point. Is that a cause for concern for you, or how would you assess their form?
I think everyone's always hoping to score more runs. I think the trend in world cricket, pretty much all around the world, is the top 3 is a really hard place to bat at the moment. Particularly here in Australia, the wickets are tough. I think there's little snippets that have been important. So again, that first innings today, Trav walks in, it's 35 overs into the game. I think that makes a big difference. Same in Adelaide. So obviously I'd be hoping to score more runs, would like him to score more runs, but I think they have made some important contributions that others have benefited from.
Darren Lynn was on the ABC yesterday suggesting that George Bailey is too close to the players. Do you have any view on that assertion?
Yeah, I do. I don't know how that could be true. I think there's so much more to picking a side than just looking at kind of the internet. So I think going on with really strong philosophies, working with players, of course the most important thing is you do stay objective, and I think the selection panel are amazing at that. They've made some really bold calls over the last couple of years in all formats, probably bolder than I'd seen other selectors make over the previous years. So they've never been shied away from a tough decision. I think what George brings to the role is amazing, and I think you'd hear that from the guys in the side, but you'd also hear it from state guys and everyone outside it as well.
You mentioned before about Trav coming in at 35 over mark, and that kind of happened in Melbourne too, right? Is that blueprint, is that working for you guys? Are you guys happy that that's the best way to kind of go about it?
Look, I think you always hope that if you're walking in 35 overs, you've got more runs on the board, whatever it is. But as I said, the trend is, it seems like the 5, 6, 7 is sometimes where a lot of the bulk of the runs are scored in Test cricket all around the world. I think I spoke ahead of this summer when there was all talk about batting orders. Were pretty, didn't really want to move our 5, 6, 7. They've been so important to many of our wins over the last couple of years. So, we're not kind of beholden to to stats, you know, we know there are certain roles, there are easier times to bat, harder times to bat, just like bowlers. So you're kind of always looking at the best 7 batters who you think are going to function as a unit and place them as best as you can. Does that make sense?
Last one.
Just want to hear how Nathan McSweeney's holding after you speak to him about that. And, like, will you guys give him a whole series to get through this? Like, I mean, he's had one good knock, but outside of that, it's been pretty slim pickings.
Yeah, look, I think the selectors will get together tonight or tomorrow, and you know, you pick the squad for the next couple of tests. But it's been really hard for the opening batters, you know, for both sides really. I've been really impressed with the way he's gone about it. You know, even today, someone starting out his career still being selfless enough to go out there and try and play shots rather than just trying to, you know, preserve and get a score. So, yeah, really impressed with him. Again, hasn't probably scored the runs that he would like, but he's played some important knocks that have set up you know, a win in Adelaide and a really good result here.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, Pat.